Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we're going to be looking at the actor's dressing room using a vector program to be able to change the different characteristics inside of this. So I'm going to double click to open this up, and what I want to do is take this particular one. So I've got a default setting, so this is freshly opened Cartoon Animator, and I'm going to move her across to there, and I want to replace her, as in the dress, with let's move her up a bit so you can see a bit better, and I want to have a variation on this dress here. So I'm going to move this dress across as well, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to take that skirt and put it on this character, but also have it more modest, in other words coming below the knee. So what I'm going to be doing, just to explain it to you, is I'm going to be taking this character and opening it up in Illustrator, which is my software for doing this sort of thing. And then I'm going to make the skirt long, and I want to then take her skirt and also her feet, so I want these shoes, and then I'm going to disconnect, if you like, her, and then connect her, and then take the changes I've made here and apply it in here, bring it back into Cartoon Animator and make the corrections that are necessary. So I'm just going to go through the workflow to show you how it works in a vector image rather than a PSD way. So I've selected the item, so I'm going to go into the composer mode. When I'm in composer mode, she's selected, and I can go to my SVG editor, which for me is Illustrator. So select that, and that opens it up in Illustrator. Says it's going to clipping will be lost on round trip. That's okay. So click OK, and here she is. So if you push and hold the space bar, you get the hand tool, and you can move things around. Okay. And I've got a zoom in and out button here, so I'm just going to zoom in and out and move her around so I can see the things I need to change. So I want to change her skirt, and I want to keep the feet. So here is the layer, and I can open up the layer, and I can see that I've got the bones, which I don't really need to worry about, and I got the actual image, which is her. Okay, so what do I need and what don't I need? Well, I don't need a hand, I don't need a forearm, I don't need the arm, I don't need all of this stuff, so I'm just going to get rid of the stuff that I don't need. I don't need her head, for example. I don't need her thigh. I don't need her shanks. Either thigh, either shank. Okay, so the items I need are going to be shown here. I've got an arm still, which I don't need, so I don't need the arm, and I don't need the other arm. Okay, so the hip, and I want the feet, but I don't want the top of the hip. Okay, so I'm just going to look at her. So I'm going to open up the hip here, and I'm going to open up the hip down here, and I'm just going to go through the various bits to see which ones are key. So that's obviously that's key. That one's not going to affect me. That one's okay. I don't really need that one either, so I need this one. And then I can go through the various bits of the dress. So I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. That's what I need. Okay, so I can actually open that one up, and we can have a little look and see what's involved in that. So yes, I want that. 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 So I want all of this section here. Okay, so this is the section that I really want. Now I want to be able to see the length I need to the skirt to go to. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually open up one of the thighs. So here's a thigh here. So I can see I want it to go below the knee. So what I need to do is select the areas that I need. So I'm going to select from there, and I'm going to hold the shift key because I want all of these sections all the way down to there. So there you go. Those are all selected. Now I want to be able to scale that down. So I'm going to select the main selection tool up here. And you see I've got a scale box, and you'll see that I'm scaling from the center. You can scale from the top, you can scale from the center. I'm going to hover over there, and I'm going to hold the shift key, and I'm going to just pull that down until it comes underneath that knee. So about there. Now it has scaled out evenly because I was holding the shift key. Okay, if I undo that, Control Z, and I just scale down like that, you'll see it's getting just longer because I'm not holding the shift key. So you need to decide what's the right solution for you. I think I need to go down to there without holding the shift key. I don't really want it to be massively wider. I just want it to be longer. So if you hold the shift key, it's going to scale out left and right. If you just want it to go one direction, just don't hold any modifier keys. So that's effectively done all the things I need it to do. Okay, I have modified the hip with the skirt so it's now the right length, and I've got the feet left in there. So those are the items that I'm going to need to copy. So I'm actually going to select all the things I need to copy right away. So I'm just going to take that down like this so I can see everything. So I want to, those are selected, great. So I just hold the Control key and choose left foot and right foot. Okay, you can't select stuff if it doesn't have the eyeball, by the way. So that's all the stuff that I actually need to bring across, and it's the right length. So I'm simply going to go File, Save. Okay, and then I am going to go back to Cartoon Animator, and don't worry about how it looks at the moment. We'll sort this all out later. Things do move, but we can change those later on. Okay, so I'm going to come out of Composer mode. Yep, I'm disconnected from the item, and here is the item that I want to take into Composer mode because I want that on here. So all I need to do is go to Composer mode now with this item, and then go to my SVG editor here. And again, it says, you know, clipping will be lost on round trip, so that's fine. Now, again, I can open her up and open up the image, and I need to paste into her all the things that I've changed. So I'm simply going to go to Edit, Paste, and there we go. It's all there. Okay, so that's brought it in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see what's gone on. And I know roughly where I want it to be, so I can bring this down. So just click and drag it down to where I want it to be, which is there. I might have issues. You can see there might be a few issues with the hip, but I think we can actually solve that problem. Okay, so that's in the right place. Now I need to put them in the right place down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the content of the appropriate things that I've copied across. So I've got my hip and I've got my feet. So let's start with the feet. So I'm going to take the right foot, and I'm simply going to select everything in the right foot. So Shift Select. There's the right foot down here. So I'm just going to drag those into the right foot. And then I'm going to select the right foot of the old section, the ones that I no longer want, select all of those and just delete them. Okay, so that's the right foot done. Now I'm going to do the same with the left foot. So let's open up the left foot. There's the left foot. Take the top one, shift, bottom one, come down to the left foot, which is here, drag them into the left foot, and then take the bottom four, which is that one to that one, again, shift select, and hit delete. So the feet are now sorted out. So now it's a case of working out what sort of things in the hip we need to sort out. So I can actually shut that down now. We can open up the hip, and again we need to do the same process of elimination really. So do I need that? No. That. Yes, I need those, but they're nothing to do with the hip. This is the one we want here. So we're going to look at the top. That's not going to affect me. That's not going to affect me. So it's that section there is the section that's affected. Okay, we can clearly see that is the more below, and so I want that. Yeah, okay, so it's this section here that we really need to bring our skirt into. So I'm going to take this whole dress, and I'm actually going to shut the section. I'm going to drag it down there, and I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, so now I need to work out what's going on at the back here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit to be able to see what's going on there. Again, space bar or whatever you need to do to actually do this. So clearly I've got issues at the side here. Okay, so if I choose my dress, choose the group here, which is there. Maybe I want to make it a little bit wider. So I'm going to take it out to there. And to there. That's about right to me. Okay, so I'm happy with the selection that I've made. I need to do, are there other things I need to turn off? So let's just turn that off. You can see, yes, there are things underneath because they're associated with the thigh. So what I can do is I can open up this thigh, and you'll see that I've got inside here, I've actually got this bit that I don't want. And again, I can do that on the other thigh, which is here. open up that thigh, open up that thigh and turn off the eyeball for that. You can actually delete these layers as well. So you can just select the layer and hit delete if you don't want it, which is in my case, I'm not going to want it. So I'm just going to delete those. Okay, there are some other bits and pieces. If you don't know where they are, you can always take the direct select tool and select the item that you're a bit worried about. And you'll find that it shows you where it is. So it shows me it's in this section here. And it is this. And I can delete that. There's that one there, so it's inside there, so I've got to open up that section down there. Oops. It's there, so I can just delete that. And this one here, which is here, so I can just delete. So I've got rid of all the stuff that I don't need. Okay, so I can now turn back on the skirt. And that's her built up in the way that I'm happy with. So I can zoom out, we can have a little look. Check we're happy with her. Yeah, now that's brought everything in. So we've got the dress moving in the right length, or the skirt the right length. Everything is in place. I can just do file save. File save. And then I can go back to Cartoon Animator, where you will see everything looks wrong. Don't panic, all right? Don't go out of composer mode. Stay in composer mode. Click on what the problem is. Clearly the hip is the problem. Okay, just click on it, make sure it's selected. Then you need to have the sprite editor showing. This is the key here. So I've got problems with her legs, which I'll deal with in a minute. So S for sprite editor. If you can't see it here, you're going to need sprite editor. So S will bring the sprite editor up. And now you can actually physically move the item into place. So now it's selected, I'm just going to drag it down into place. And yeah, that's good enough for government work. That'll do the trick, I think. Don't really need to move it any more than that. But I also know that there was a problem with those legs. So what I'm going to do is, if I select the thigh, I can't see what's going on. So I'm actually going to turn the eyeball off here for the hip, so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I need to have the thigh. So there's the thigh, and I've still got the sprite editor up, so I've still got the green one. So I can move it across. Excuse the dog in the background. And then I can do the same with the other thigh. Select that one, move it across. It doesn't move necessarily live, by the way, so you sort of move it, let go, until it's all lined up again. Then I can turn the hip back on, and I have created my item. Okay. Now I can go back, now that it's actually finished, I can go back to stage mode. Yeah, it's going to disconnect, that's fine. So yes. There's the item that's finished. So this was the one that we were just looking at there. Okay, so that was the one in stage mode, which we just got. But this was the other one that you're seeing that looks awful, is the one that we actually sent across. I don't need that anymore. That's irrelevant to me now. That was the one that I was working on. So I've now got this one. It's fine. And then you can save it into your custom folder. So you can go to your custom folder and you can go to actor, or props, or wherever you want to put it. I put it inside the actor, and then you might choose a human, and then you might choose female. I've actually already saved a version of this, so if I go in here, you see there's a version there. And then you can actually just sort of select it here, and then click save, or you can overwrite it by selecting one that you want to overwrite and just overwrite it. So that's how you can take something, or take one of the templates, one of the clothing templates. I'm just going to go back and show you. This is the actor's dressing room, or actor dressing room. How you can take items, you can take one from one and one from the other to create a custom item. And then once you've done this, there's nothing to stop you taking the whole thing into the SVG option up here, which then allows you to change the colors of everything else. And obviously, if you have one of the other packs, such as Character Campus Heroes, which is one I've got, that then allows you, if you're in composer mode, which I'm going to go back into very briefly, come back to your content, you can then come in and you can change heads, for example, and you can stick a head on. So let's just stick that head on just for reference. There we go. And then you can create a custom character, and you can go in, you can modify eyes and eyebrows and hair and all the other things that you want. So that's how you can create a custom character using both the sort of one of these multiple changing options, like the Character Campus Hero and the dressing room. Hope you found this tutorial helpful, and thank you for watching.